Hi, and welcome to Traditional Taekwondo Ramblings channel. My name is Ryan-1316. Usually I use this channel to promote traditional Taekwondo, but in my personal study I also practice something called Kyongdang, or Iship Saban Muye Kyongdang. It's a reconstruction of the traditional military arts that is documented in the Muye Dobotongji, Korean military manual, published in 1799. In that manual there are many different kinds of sword forms or sword martial arts. I have dabbled in this for many years. My primary focus has always been Taekwondo, which is an unarmed martial art, but I have always enjoyed weapons, like in media and video games, and also in practice. So when I got the chance to do seminars, attend seminars, weekend trainings, etc., I would gradually pick up a few forms here and a few techniques there and work on them until the next chance to train presented itself. So what I have usually been using is this. It's called a mokkom, a wooden sword, bokken or bokuto in Japanese. It's the same length as a normal katana, which is about 70 centimeters in the blade part and about 27 centimeters here at the handle, which I believe is tsuka in Japanese, I'm not sure. This one is, for as far as red oak bokken goes, it's pretty heavy, but about 600-700 grams. It's not very heavy, but it's been very durable. This has lasted for 20 years so far, and I haven't been very kind to it. This has been whacking into other wooden swords, and it's been used in all kinds of weather and conditions. So after many years of using only a wooden sword, I wanted to check the possibility to getting something to get a more feel for how a real sword would operate. A real sword has a different balance. This one, it's not that bad actually. It's around here. But they often have a different balance, a completely different weight. They're much heavier than the wooden sword, and they behave a little differently than a wooden sword would do. So after a lot of research, I ended up on the idea of going from a wooden sword to an Iaito, which is what people in Iaito uses to practice their sword forms. Most of my sword training is only done in forms, short forms or longer forms, but they're still forms. But I also found out that most Iaito, while they have the same length and generally the same build, same handle, they are often made by a different kind of steel or aluminium, and they weigh less. So when I found this one, this is made of 1060 carbon steel, the Ryan-1316, and it is made in a way where you can actually dismantle it and you can maintain it and treat it like a real sword, but it's about as sharp as I am, which is like a tablespoon. Now there are some benefits by using this kind of sword rather than the wooden sword, and that is that you also get a scabbard. I haven't really practiced any drawing or resheathing of the sword since I only have a wooden sword and no sheath to place it in. You also get the whole maintenance aspect. It's a carbon 1060 steel, which means that you will have to wipe it off after practice and clean it, oil it like you would with any real katana. The handle is longer than what is usual for katana. I've seen online that most are about 27 centimeters in length here. The handle on the wooden sword is actually 27 centimeters, and while it matches what a real katana would be in length, I always thought that it would be better with a centimeter or two longer handle. And very lucky for me, this one is about 30 centimeters, which is perhaps a centimeter too much. I'm not sure yet. So you can see here, hopefully, that it's quite a bit longer than on the wooden sword. So far I've enjoyed the extra length very much. I haven't really been using it that much yet. I had roughly about 60 minutes, 1 hour of very effective training. Now the sword, it doesn't rattle in the sheath, which is something I heard is a lot of it's very common in this price category. I believe the selling price on Amazon is $169 US. Also, it's a very tight fit. It doesn't leave the scabbard unless you really want to. That being said, I'm training myself, always having the thumb here. Over time, when you draw and resheath, this is a wooden saya or wooden sheath, so it will get looser in time, so it's best to get the good habits in right away. That being said, the blade itself is very nice. I hope that the light gets the Hamun line, I believe it's called, this here. If it's done naturally, I don't think it is done naturally. I think it's artificial on this sword, but on a real live blade, this pattern, I hope it shows up in the light, is the result of the tempering process with clay. The wrapping, which in this price category can be quite loose, I've been told. It's impossible to move, and the triangles are pretty consistent and pretty much in one line, which I've also been told is normal, that they vary in both side and on the size of the triangles. The handle also has a genuine ray skin underneath. What you pay extra for in more expensive swords is often that the ray skin goes all the way around the handle, On this particular blade you have laminates, so you have on this side and then you have on this side. You can't really tell unless you take it all apart, which I did. And it is a very comfortable grip. It's actually a very comfortable sword, although the extra weight is a little new to me as of yet. The weight of the Iaito is about 1.3 kilos, I think it said, with the sheath. But the blade itself is the website said 930 grams, but it's closer to 1 kilo when I weighed it. I'm not sure if they weighed it without the fittings, which would detract a little weight. But fully assembled, this part, the blade itself, is at least this specimen closer to 1 kilo. So it's a step up in weight when you're used to a wooden sword. So there you have it, a short review on the Ryan-1316 model blade.